Satan's playground. The air was thick with sulfur and smoke, a choking haze that clung to every breath. Screams cut through the blackened skies, screams so raw and guttural they didn't sound human anymore. Beneath that endless echo of agony lay the ground itself, if it could even be called ground. Flesh and bone paved the paths, twitching, writhing, as if the earth was made of living bodies bound together for eternity. This was hell, not the cartoonish pit mortals joked about, but the true domain of the damned, Satan's playground. The gates were teeth, jagged, towering fangs dripping with black saliva, opening only to swallow the newly dead. Souls entered naked, stripped of all dignity, dragged by shadow-thin demons whose claws hooked into their spines. Some tried to run, but the ground pulled them back, tendrils of burnt sinew wrapping their ankles, yanking them screaming into the molten soil. Deeper inside, the landscape twisted with madness. Rivers of boiling blood surged with bodies half dissolved, their faces locked in endless screams as they were swept away, shredded against spiked rocks. Great towers of bone rose high, lashed together by veins that still pulsed. Perched upon them, winged horrors with eyeless sockets shrieked hymns in reverse, their voices making the air vibrate until bones cracked. And then there was the playground itself. It stretched across a vast abyss, a carnival of torment crafted by Satan himself. Swings forged from chains of spinal columns screeched as they swung, each seat holding a soul flayed alive with every motion. Merry-go-rounds spun endlessly, their riders nailed in place, centrifugal force tearing limbs from sockets as demons laughed and whipped them faster. The seesaws? Each rise and fall snapped bodies in half, only for them to stitch back together so the torment could begin again. But the worst was the slide. It gleamed red, slick with endless gore, spiraling down into a pit of gnashing mouths. Souls were forced to climb it, their nails tearing off as they scrambled upward, only to be shoved down into the waiting jaws. The demons cheered, feasting as if it were sport, and above it all, in his throne, carved from skulls still whispering, Satan watched. He wasn't a horned caricature. His form shifted, sometimes a towering beast with burning eyes, sometimes a shadow so vast it swallowed light, sometimes a man with a grin too wide, teeth stretching to his ears. But always, always his presence suffocated. He radiated hunger, delighting in every scream, every drop of blood spilled in his domain. He called the place his playground because to him that's all it was. Souls weren't victims, they were toys, and toys always broke. In one corner, a woman prayed on her knees, blood pouring from her torn lips as she whispered for mercy. A demon crouched beside her, listening. When she said, "Amen," it ripped her tongue out and shoved it back down her throat. Satan laughed, a sound like earthquakes splitting the world. "Prayers," he hissed, his voice vibrating through every inch of hell. "Our music here. Play them again." The damned obeyed, even as their throats shredded, even as their words turned to gurgles. The more they prayed, the more they bled, and the louder Satan laughed. Hell was endless. Time didn't exist. Each scream lasted forever. Each torment stretched without mercy. And the demons, their claws always sharp, their hunger never satisfied, played with the damned as if eternity was nothing but a cruel game. In the end, that was the truth. Hell was not a prison. It was a playground. And Satan was the child who would never stop playing.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments below.